Hey guys, welcome back to another artful video. In today's video, we're finally diving into Create This Book by Mariah Elizabeth. I have been meaning to start this book for ever, but I didn't get around to it, and she currently has 2 books out, so I'm a little behind, and yes, I know. But now that I'm finally in the mood to dive into this, I decided to make it into a series, so I can practice and have a reason to try drawing. The reason for this is that because if I don't have a reason to draw something, I won't do it, and I'm very stubborn naturally, in a weird way. It even gets annoying to me, and I'm the one that's doing it to myself. It's also a way to archive or save my progress, so when I'm done with this book, I'll be able to come back to it and look at all the hard work I did, hopefully if I finish it. And that's also another goal that I'm trying to do, is also to finish this book. Mariah did this kind of series even with her own book a long time ago when it first came out, and I thought it was an amazing idea, especially to get the creative juices flowing, you know? Hopefully my drawings would be fun as hers, since my style can be a little basic or boring in my opinion. Hers is more bright and more fun and exciting. But I'll do my best to try to make it a little more exciting. First things first, I have to start off with my sketch of what I want. I was struggling a bit to come up with an idea, since it is the cover and is the most hardest thing to start with. It's just as hard as starting a new page in a new sketchbook. I really did not want to mess up the book, but Mariah created this book so that we could be creative with it. After pondering a bit with the sketchbook, I transitioned to the iPad to see if a change in media would work for me. After a solid 30 minutes of brainstorming, I did come up with this idea of a sakura tree branch reaching across the book, since I'm obviously obsessed with pink sakuras. Well, purple in this sense, because I love the color purple, but I also like sakuras. As you probably noticed because of my logo and name, so I had to keep in mind that not to go into too much detail on the iPad, since all this was going to be traditional, and it was best to figure out as I went along during the painting process. I originally wanted to incorporate a rainbow to represent Mariah, but rainbows kind of scare me in a way when it comes to art. How do I make all these colors work? She just makes it work somehow. I'm not a pastel or colorful kind of artist, so I had no idea how to incorporate this. I'm showing a time lapse because the iPad was very reflective, so it was showing my face, and when I tell you, that was the most unflattering angle ever. I look like a gremlin that is just looking into the mirror for the first time in centuries. So I spared your eyes from that. You guys can't see me in my true form yet. You guys are not ready for that. So instead of pending like I always do, I just winged it and started painting. I know I wanted the sakura branches with the sakuras, so I started there. I used black acrylic paint for the base. And I feel so bad for covering up any titles that Mariah has incorporated on her book. It felt like I was personally attacking her book for some reason. I didn't want to cover up her work to make this cover, but I have to keep reminding myself that she probably doesn't really care about the little text. As long as I put my creativity onto it, it doesn't matter. My overall focus was to keep the main splat. Pencil and sketch splat or line, I guess, is that what you call it? I had to be careful and fill in all the small details, so I changed brushes as I went along. Once the background dried, I went in with a colored pencil to sketch the details, like this lavender purple that's similar to the sakuras that I wanted to color in, to see where I wanted the branches to go. I did have to sketch on the iPad, so I had an idea of where everything was gonna go, but I have to keep in mind that it won't be exactly the same. I did make sure it would be the better version from the first sketch. I drew the branches and decided that I was gonna paint the petals in without sketching them. I felt that me sketching the petals would restrict me a bit, and I would try to stay within the lines. To avoid that, I took a brush that was roughly the same size as the petals and paint them in where I roughly had them in the sketch. I'm super glad that I did this because it looks kind of natural in a way, in an artistic way. I actually was gonna leave the petals as a solid color, but once I started getting into the feel of the painting, I went in with the lighter purple on the outer part of the petal, then the darker purple for the inner part of the flower. After getting the flowers of how I like them to look, I went in with an even lighter purple on the branches. The purple was not too dramatically lighter because I knew I was gonna go in with fine lines. I used the same color to fill in the swirly or wavy lines to give the effect of a tree branch. It gave it a nice look, so I left the branch as an outline so it won't fight with the title of the book. Wanted to create this book title to be the main focus. I moved on to the pencil and pencil line. This was the part where I felt a bit nervous because I wanted it to be rainbow. I chose to make the rainbow mark to be separate so it could be removable and I would have the option to change it. However, making it into a sticker was probably not a good idea because it may lift up the paint if it stays there a bit too long. But that's fine with me. I'm probably just gonna forget about it anyways. I tried alcohol markers, watercolor, and then Poscas. In the end, I went with the watercolors because it wasn't in your face and it was the best pastel colors that I could get. I did not have pastels and alcohol markers nor Poscas. I colored the pencil in with colored pencils, which I just realized that I colored a pencil with pencils. I did not do that on purpose. I could have used colored pencils for the rainbow, but I think I suck at blending pencils and didn't really trust myself doing that. Finally, for the splat, as you saw in the beginning, I was gonna make it rainbow, but me being a chicken, I opt to leave it. But I did think of the cool idea to sketch the falling petals in pencil so it looks like the beginning stage of like the painting of the sakura branches. Sort of a peekaboo behind the painting, which I love this idea, and it kind of pulled everything together. Another thing that I realized that I use multiple medias for this cover, so it really feels like an art book for creativity. I added finishing touches of X's on the border of my book. I do this for most sketchbooks. I did this since like middle school, so why stop now? Gotta keep my edgy theme going, I guess. And then I just realized I just did another little pun. Oh my god. I felt this video was too short, so I decided to do an extra drawing, which was a box she provided on the first few pages. It literally instructed me to literally draw whatever I wanted, so I kind of drew a little character version of me. Just to warn you, I haven't used microns in a long time, so bear with me and my shaky lines. Well, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video of me starting this book, and I can't wait. I have a mission now, and I can't wait for you guys to join me on my journey. Whether it's an hour from posting or 10 years from posting. Hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!